So that's where you take your finger, you shove it right into the soil or dirt, whatever you have. And if it comes out entirely clean, that soil is probably too dry. If a little bit sticks to your finger, that means it's probably just wet enough. If it comes out absolutely soaked and dirty, maybe ease back on the watering, because that's going to actually make you observe your garden. If you're walking around literally looking at each plant and watering it, you will notice everything that is happening in your garden, whether there's pests, whether you have enough water, and whether maybe you might need a harvest. So I think that's best, and it's also the most controlled.
Yeah, I would say the first 1.5 to 2 years, 2 seasons really, of growing more in the front yard, every few times a week, manual watering of 17 raised beds.
Yeah, it can get old.
It gets old eventually, but when you need, it's like any skill you're building. You need to build the familiarity, and then you can sort of systemize it and automate it a little bit, which we have done here now. So what we have is what's called drip irrigation. So I'd say level 1, like literally a watering can and one raised bed. Level 2, grab a hose and then just kind of walk around and hit it with a hose. Level 3 is kind of where we're at. We're maybe at level 4 because we've gone pretty extreme with it, is automating your watering in some fashion with drip irrigation or irrigation kits. Those beds have irrigation lines on them and then it's hooked up to what are called irrigation zones that basically drip out water. But plants need water as much as they need something to hold that water, soil, and the light, of course, to generate that energy. And so when you're thinking about how to water, when to water, I think when is actually not as important as some people think, but definitely still worth considering.
Yeah, generally early in the morning is best because you're trying to water the soil, not the leaves of your plant. Of course, it rains, plants will get wet, but by reducing the amount of water on the leaves, you're going to reduce the likelihood of getting disease. And that's why doing it in the morning is better, because it has time to dry out. And also in the morning is before it gets hot. So you want to give the plants the water they need before the sun comes out and really starts forcing them to draw all that water out. But to me, it almost means nothing. So I just go in there manually and make sure that that soil feels like it has sufficient water.
Yeah, and another thing is you'll find that overwatering and underwatering, the plants can sometimes respond similarly. I would say combined with the soil test and your own sort of gardener's sense of, hey, did I water it that often? Did it rain most recently? You'll be able to say this one's definitely overwatered, this one's definitely underwatered, but keeping it in that range is really all you're looking for. So watering it more is not necessarily going to do anything. It's all about doing it the right amount. Remember, we don't grow plants, they grow themselves. We put them in an environment in which they thrive.
One last thing I do want to say though is just keep in mind that as you get deeper into the season, that same plant is going to need more water. As the tomato gets larger and starts to produce fruit, it will need more water than when it was like this big. As it gets warmer, as the plants get more mature, you're going to have to step up the watering a little bit as you go.